Hello everybody and happy 1st of December to you all. I hope you're all really excited for the last little stretch of first term. It's been an absolutely amazing few months. For those of you who don't know, today is actually World AIDS Day, and I wanted to put together a little informative video for you all, just explaining what today is all about. HIV and AIDS is a topic we often kind of stray away from talking about, and you'd be surprised how many people don't know what it is, how it can be passed on, or how you can protect yourself from HIV. So I'm just gonna spit some facts out for you. HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. The virus attacks the body's immune system, which is what protects you from disease, basically. If left untreated, HIV can develop far enough to become AIDS, acquired immune deficiency syndrome. This is when the immune system can no longer fight off disease. Someone with AIDS has both HIV and one of a specific list of AIDS-defining diseases. So that includes tuberculosis, pneumonia, and some types of cancer. People will often group HIV and AIDS together, but it's very important to realise that a person doesn't have AIDS until HIV has progressed enough in their body. This is why HIV is not a death sentence. A lot of people think that it is. You may already know, but HIV is a sexually transmitted disease. If you remember the video I did with Rosie a couple months back for Sexual Health Awareness Week, we spoke a little bit about HIV there. Basically, it can be passed on through unprotected sex and from sharing and injecting drugs from somebody who is positive and has a detectable viral load. It is unlikely, but it can also be passed on through oral sex. What's a viral load, you ask? Viral load is the measure of how much HIV is in somebody's system. The higher the viral load, the more infectious they are. You cannot get HIV from touching, hugging, shaking hands or sharing utensils, kissing, spitting or sharing saliva, urine or feces, biting or scratching, insect bites, or from contact with a discarded needle. You also cannot get HIV from somebody who is positive but has an undetectable viral load. This is when the level of HIV in their system is so low that it becomes undetectable and therefore untransmittable. As long as the person living with HIV takes their meds responsibly, they will remain undetectable and will be able to have sex even unprotected without the risk of passing the virus on. Similarly, if you are HIV positive and you become pregnant, there is a 98% chance, if you take your medication responsibly, that your baby will be born without the virus. Over 103,800 people are living with HIV in the UK. Globally, there are an estimated 38 million people living with the virus. Despite the virus only being identified in 1984, more than 35 million people have died from HIV or AIDS, making it one of the deadliest pandemics in human history. It's really important that we destroy the stigma surrounding HIV and AIDS. Medical science has come an extremely long way, to the point now that we have very, very effective ways of controlling the virus. If you are HIV negative, there are several ways that you can protect yourself from the virus. The obvious ones being using condoms when you have sex, and getting tested regularly. You may also know about a drug called PrEP, which stands for pre-exposure prophylaxis. PrEP is a drug that was introduced in 2012. It has since been put on the NHS in Scotland, and it is now currently on the NHS in England as well. There was a trial going on, which has now ended, and it's been administered out. This drug, when taken responsibly and every day, can protect you from getting HIV if you end up having sex with somebody who is positive and not yet undetectable. It doesn't stop you from contracting other sexually transmitted infections though, so make sure you are still responsible. Similarly, PEP, which stands for post-exposure prophylaxis, is a similar drug that can be taken up to 72 hours after you have unprotected sex with somebody who is positive and you are worried that you may have been exposed to the HIV virus. This will block the virus and therefore stop you from getting infected. PEP is available from your sexual health clinic, but it's also available from A&E if you need it. The common misconception around HIV and AIDS is that it only affects men who have sex with men. This is far from the truth. 98,552 people were living with HIV in 2018 and receiving HIV care. Of these people, 30.9% of them were female. And did you know that the proportion of people accessing HIV care in 2019 through heterosexual sex was almost on par with that of who received the virus through sex between men? Remember, people living with HIV and AIDS are still human, and their status isn't something that should warrant discrimination against them. For example, if you meet somebody who is positive, don't grill the person about how they contracted the virus or how detectable they are, and avoid using terms such as "I'm clean" if you end up talking about sexual health. This puts across the insinuation that somebody with an STI is dirty, and they're not. It's important that not just on World AIDS Day, but all year round, we work to educate ourselves and destroy the stigma that surrounds people living with HIV. So how can you help on World AIDS Day? By simply standing in solidarity with the millions of people who are affected by HIV, and be inquisitive and inform yourself. Wear one of the red ribbons, which can be purchased at your local Morrison's for a small donation, and visit some of the websites, for example, Terrace Higgins Trust, the National AIDS Trust, and the World AIDS Day website. You can find out loads more information there and donate if you can. I really hope this video has been of some interest to people. This is only really scratching the surface. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day.